You know what I love? Horror. Yeah. Love me my horror. But come to think of it, haven't read that many horror comics. I read Nightmare World, which was an anthology. Is that it for pure horror comic? Huh. Well, let's fix that. So, um, I came across a comic called Scream Queen. Ah! That's what they do. Only better than that, because I sound silly when I scream. Seriously, a guy with or anyone, I suppose, with a deep voice, you just can't scream and sound good. There are a lot of people who can just belt out a scream and it sounds awesome, but when you have a deep voice, you can't really scream. I mean, you can either do what I just did and mock a scream, but if an axe murderer is chasing me, or if I walk into the kitchen and there's a corpse in there, what am I going to do? Ah! 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 Basses can't scream, I guess, or we sound really silly when we do. What's it talking about? Oh, Scream Queen. So I ran across this book. I've never heard of it. I read the synopsis, and it sounds like um, it's a slasher book. Imagine if Jason Voorhees fell in love and tried to impress the object of his affections. How do you think he'd go about doing that? Well, probably with severed heads, or maybe killing everyone who was bothering whoever he's crushing on. That's I don't know how close I am, but that's kind of what I got from the short synopsis that I read. And that sounds fun. So yeah, Scream Queen. Let's give it a try. Eh, that ain't. What's available are two of the total five issues, so I've read 40% of it. Not really aching to read the other 60%. I mean, if it was available, I totally would have. Um, yeah, it's pretty much what I was expecting. There's a um, Jason Voorhees type of person who lives in the uh, janitor's room in a mall, and he was abandoned in a dumpster as a baby, and the mall janitor found him and raised him, but kept him in the janitor's closet his entire life. Said never go outside until after 11 when the mall closes, because you're ugly and deformed, and people will throw you in the garbage. Arr! And so the janitor guy who's taking care of him dies because he falls off a ladder, and Whitney, whatever is it, the name of the mall is like Whitney or something, so he's been named after it. And so our slasher guy Whitney kind of watches the world through a hole in the wall, and through the hole in the wall he sees the food court, and working at the juice stand is Molly. Oh my gosh, I actually remembered somebody's name. That's amazing. And she is the goodest of good people that has ever gooded before. I mean, she's like so super nice and sweet and lovely that she's kind of unbelievable. Um, but so he falls for her and tries to figure out what would make her happy. So he's watching other people through the food court, and he watches a guy give his girlfriend a present, and she gives him a kiss, and he's like, "Aha! Girls give kisses if you give them stuff," which is totally the wrong lesson to learn here. But so he's watching people kiss through this is my favorite part of the book, actually. He's watching people kiss through the hole in the wall. And so he grabs this rat and he starts licking this rat. He's like, "Hey, kissing's fun." And the poor rat's going like, "What the hell?" That was my favorite part of the book. Him licking a rat. That was funny. But, yeah, so he falls for Molly and kind of puts on like a hat and sunglasses and follows her around. And there's one mean cheerleader who's mean to her because she's mean, and so he kills her, which opens up a spot on the cheer squad, so Molly tries out, and yay, she makes it. And she's at the game and having a great time, and Whitney, or whatever his name is, overhears her saying that, my gosh, my life is amazing. I got on the cheer squad. What's next? I'll have a car? And Whitney's like, aha, a car. So he goes out to the parking lot, I guess, and he sees some woman getting in a car, so he crushes her head, I think, and parks the... I don't know if he drove it or pushed it or picked it up and carried it, but somehow gets the car to Molly's, and he leaves a note on the window that says, I heart Molly, and she goes, ah, only in a much better screamy voice, but at least I'm assuming she doesn't sound like me when she screams, because the upholstery is, you know, covered in blood and eyeballs and little bits of brain matter and stuff. And that's where it ends. It's okay. Some of the situations are funny. Some of the dialogue is clever and funny. The characters aren't exactly realistic, but you get enough character out of them to enjoy them anyway. Still, it's just kind of Maybe my tune would change if I got the entire story. I mean, maybe it really comes into its own in the back half, but, yeah.